All right, guys, in this video, what we're gonna do is we are gonna do a live demo of the different judgment frames, okay? So this means I'm actually gonna go into one of my Facebook accounts. We're gonna look at a report on a campaign that's been running now for over 30 days, and we're gonna look at all of the different phases so you can see exactly how and why these judgment frames actually exist and how they can help you make smart decisions. So right now, let's jump straight over to my Facebook ads account. Okay, so right now what you're looking at is the inside of my Facebook ads account. Now, of course, we're gonna start out with judgment frame 1, which is looking at today's report. Now, it is not 3 o'clock right now. It is 7:24. So I'm a little bit past the judgment frame for today, but you'll still be able to see how the rule applies. All right, so just being honest with you. We've got 2 different ads in this campaign, okay? So 2 different ad sets in this campaign that are active. I ended up having to kill this one because it wasn't doing too well. And what you're looking at now are these we're gonna focus on these 2 ads right here. And you can see how many people have seen the ad, how many different purchases have been made, what my average cost per purchase is, and how much money I've spent, and of course, how much money I've made. So this is all pulled in using the Facebook pixel, all right? So if you look at today's report, I chose this campaign specifically because today was not really the best day. Clearly, you can see this ad has been doing really well because it's got a pretty big daily budget. 125 bucks a day is a decent sized daily budget. Now, let's take a look at the stats looking at judgment frame 1. Now, if you recall, in judgment frame 1, you're supposed to check your ads around 3 p.m. If you have any negative ads, you lower the budget to less than what you've already spent for the day. And that temporarily pauses your ad for the day, so there's no bleeding. Positive ads, you want to gently increase the budget, or you can just simply leave them alone, right? You don't have to scale them, but it's okay if you gently increase the budget. Okay, so this top ad right here, today, I've spent $97.99. It's generated for me $120. So that's not that amazing, right? That's like barely making any profit on my ad spend. So I'm gonna leave this ad alone, obviously. Now this ad right here, I've spent $18 and I've made 10. So it's lost me money. So what I might do is come over here, click this pen or pencil, edit the daily budget, and I would put my daily budget at 17 bucks. And that would pause it for the day, and at midnight it would start running again because it would, have a $17 a day budget. That's if I wanted to stop the bleeding for the day. All right, so if you look at this campaign, it doesn't look too hot. I spent $116 today to make $130. Not very good. And what happens is people come in here that don't understand judgment frames, and they make terrible decisions. They make impulse decisions out of fear and lack of education. And they might go, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cut this ad off right here. I'm just gonna completely turn this ad off because this ad right here is losing me money. I can't afford to lose money. I'm gonna cut it off. And they kill the ad. But if you're educated on the judgment frames, then you can come over here to the top right where it says today, and you can go to judgment frame number 2, which gives us more information to make a more educated decision. So let's do that. So it pulls up our calendar here, and I'm just gonna hit last 7 days. Now it's gonna reload the data. Now look at this. This is actually very interesting. This ad that's on the $25 a day budget that today did not do so well is actually an amazing ad. I mean, I spent $168 and it's generated for me $384. So that's over 100% ROI on my ad spend. So this is a great ad. If I had have made a decision based off of judgment frame 1 and been, drastic and made an impulse decision out of fear, I would have turned this ad off, which means I would have been killing a profitable ad. Same thing goes with this one right here. I spent $849 and I made $1,500. So we're close to 100% ROI on this ad. So this is a really, really good ad. Now remember, if you're wondering how I know how much money I've made on my ads, first off, you need to make sure that you watch the video on Facebook Pixels, right? And how to implement your Facebook Pixel on your Shopify store. Because it will pull all of your sales data into Facebook. So it'll pair it so the ads actually track how many sales and how much money they generated. And it pulls that information in from Shopify. I have a whole video on how that's done. So both of these are very profitable ads. At about 100% ROI, spent $1,000, made $1,900. So a little bit less than 100% ROI, okay? 90% or so. Now let's look at the last 30 days. Look at last 30 days, and you can see that both ads are still doing really, really well over the last 30 days. So judgment frame number 3, I have positive ads. So according to my rules, if it's break even, kill it and tweak it. If it's minor negative, kill it and tweak it. If it's mega negative, kill it and say never again. And if it's positive, feel free to increase the budget if you want to, and you can increase it a little bit more strongly than, gently. So I could come up here and say, this one has been crushing it. I could bump it up to $200 a day, and it'd probably be just fine because it's proven itself to be consistent over the last 30 days. This one right here has proven itself to be consistent over the last 30 days. I might not bump this one that much because over the last, today it wasn't performing that well, so I might want to wait till a day that it's actually, having a good day. But I also wouldn't bump it up a ton. I would bump this one up to like maybe $50, and that would probably be good for this one. But both of them are very consistent ads. And if I just had have come in and looked at judgment frame number 1, which is what most people do, and they log in their accounts, I'm going to check my stats today. Oh my God, this one's lost me $10. Bloop, and they cut it off. You just cut off an ad that was making you $1,000 a month in net profit because of one bad day. You can't make impulse decisions like that. You have to look at the reports. You have to abide by and live by these 3 judgment frames. So you can look at the past data. You can make intelligent, calculated decisions based off of logic and not emotion. When you act off of emotion is when you screw things up. When you think before you act is when you actually accomplish your goals and achieve them efficiently, right? So do not act off of impulse and emotion. Act off of logic in my judgment frames, all right? So this would apply to all sorts of, campaigns, ads, free plus shipping, retail, it doesn't matter. You're just looking at money out versus money in based off of today, the last 7 days, and the last 30 days. All right, so I hope this video has given you a little bit of insight. I think it's great that today this one ad has just had kind of a crappy day because it shows you that most people would have turned that off, but you gotta stop real quick and think and make the logical decision and say, wait, I would be killing an ad that over the last 30 days has actually generated for me around $700 in net profit for my business. And if you did that to 10 ads, you would be costing yourself a ton of money. You see, it's not just about killing this one ad. So, I accidentally killed one good ad. It's what if you did that to 10 different ads? You wouldn't be costing yourself $700 a month. You would be costing yourself $7,000 a month, right? So you got to be very careful when it comes to that stuff. Actually, let me check my math on that. I'm really bad at math. I should not be allowed to do math. So 10 times 700. Yeah, okay. Wow, I'm proud of myself. I did good math. My old professor from college and math teacher in high school will be very proud of that math that I just did. So I'm not good with numbers, and that just is another testament to, how anybody can do this stuff as long as you live by the formula and you go by these judgment frames. You make calculated decisions. You use a calculator instead of your brain for the numbers. And you can run an efficient, very simple business using this formula and keep yourself and prevent yourself from killing killing winners just because they're having one bad day. It's like you're married, right? Well, you might not be married, but let's say that you are married. And you wake up and one day you're having a bad day. You have a disagreement with your wife. You're just going to leave? You're just going to break up because you had one bad day? No. You got to look back at all of the great memories that you had together. You got to look back, think about all of the good times and the positives. Now, if you look back and you say, oh my gosh, I have been miserable ever since I got in this relationship, well, I'm not a love doctor or anything, but you might want to start paying attention to judgment frame number 3 if that's the case. But I hope that analogy makes sense. You need to look back over the period of time and get data before you make a decision to kill an ad or scale it drastically. All right, guys, so that's it for the demo on my 3 judgment frames. I hope that you learned a lot from this video, and I hope that this helps you start making some very calculated, educated decisions in your business and just helps you create more success. That's it. I'll see you on the next one.